Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Monday. Give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid before we start building. The real peace. What's happening to you, my brother? See you tapped in right before I came on this joint. So, what's the word? How you living and feeling? How everybody living and feeling on this wonderful Monday, man? Y'all see the subject matter we building on today. Talking about reality and your interpretation of reality, aka your truth, and how that pretty much just shapes your whole entire life, and how that can start in infancy, man, our upbringing and things like that, man. We're gonna build on some deep topics today, man. But what's the word? Let me know how y'all living and feeling though. Akuma, peace, what's happening? Montel, peace, what's the word? What's happening? How we living and feeling on this Monday? What's the word? Like I said, y'all see the subject matter, man. Y'all see what it is. Y'all see what we building on out here, man. We shaping a better reality for ourselves, better world. Javon, peace. What's happening with you, my brother? What's the word? What's happening? What's the word? How everybody living and feeling? Give y'all about 2, 3 more minutes, man, before we start diving in, man. This is one of those topics that I might lose track of tapping into the comments on. Might get the building, a little heavy building and whatnot. So y'all know how I go, man. When I get in that little zone, magic, peace, what's happening? Man, I tell you, everything is cool, everything is peaceful. We all good. Appreciate you asking. And shout out to you, my brother, for doing good. You know what I'm saying? Keep that good energy flowing, keep that good energy rolling. Y'all know what it is. How y'all holding up though, man? Crazy world, man. A lot of stuff going on out here, man. So like I said, man, make sure y'all staying safe, staying out the way. A lot of stuff going on. No matter how much you keep your head on the swivel, man, some stuff is just hard to see coming, man. So, hey, just try to stay out the way as much as possible, man. Handle your business, all that type of good stuff, man. Stay low key, all that. It's a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of this, you already know how I feel about a lot of it, but hey, don't take away from the fact that it's going on and that it's happening, man. So, hey, try to keep your head on the swivel as much as possible. Stay low key, stay out the way, all that type of stuff, man. Y'all know what it is, though. We saw this coming years ago. We saw the world getting crazy. We saw that coming, man. I mean, the world, you know what I'm saying? It's always been wild and whatnot. But we saw this coming, though. When they gave us a pandemic, man, we knew what that was going to create. We knew that was going to create an unhealthier society. We knew that was going to create, that we knew that was going to give birth to a lot of mentally ill folks. So we knew what was happening. We knew what was going on by design, and then once this pandemic pretty much reaches its end, now here we go. So you know what I'm saying? So like we saw this coming. A lot of us was talking about this stuff while it was going down, so we knew that this was going to be the result of that pandemic. Moni, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Kuma for sure, man. Hey, I got plenty of examples like that in life, for real. But yeah, man, we talking about reality versus the truth out here. You know what I'm saying? And I was reading something in this book called The Healing Self, right? Tavon, peace, what's happening? I was reading something in this book called The Healing Self. And it talked about basically young children forming very powerful beliefs about the world, and sometimes it doesn't revolve around the facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the interpretation, like the child's interpretation of what happened, like is just enough for them to form a very powerful belief about a person, an environment, a situation, a circumstance, and that has enough power to affect them as an adult and beyond. You know what I'm saying? And it's just them forming a belief about what happened. So the way they interpreted something that happened as a child will affect them as an adult. And their interpretation may not necessarily be the fact of what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? So this is how powerful our interpretation is. This is how powerful our perception of something is. You know, and we got to understand that. And again, young children, as they say, as the studies say by the psychologists, they say sometimes young children, their beliefs don't necessarily line up with the facts of what happened. You know, so again, that's why it's very important in regards to the type of love that you show the child, how you treat the child, because again, they gonna form a belief about what it is that happened or what they think didn't happen or what they think they were missing. You may not have meant for it to be interpreted like that as a parent. You know what I'm saying? But the child gonna form this interpretation of it based off of how it made them feel. You know what I'm saying? Like you may not be, just from my upbringing, man. We not affectionate people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, we just not affectionate people. That don't mean we don't have love to display out here. So you could be that way toward a child, and that child could interpret it as you don't love them because they may be seeking affection. But you did not mean for that. You did not mean for that to be the message for them to receive. But that's how they interpreting it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be mindful of these type of things. Larry, you say, did I get vaccinated? That will be an emphatic no. Did not get vaccinated, will not get vaccinated, haven't got the flu shot ever in life, never had the flu, you know, but nah, yeah, nope. Did not get vaccinated, will never get vaccinated. You know, the people that have chosen to get vaccinated, more power to you, but my personal choice, I will never get vaccinated again in my life after I learned what I learned about not only vaccination, but then how to keep the immune system strong and whatnot. You know, once I learned the science of herbs and the science of what I eat and fasting, it's no need for me to get a vaccination based off of what I have learned about the body's magnificent ability to heal itself if we just give it the proper tools, you know, and the proper tools, fasting, rest, proper foods, you know, the vitamins and minerals, all the nutrients that we need, sun, all that type of good stuff. Breathing properly, like we supply the body with all of that, we good. It will heal itself from whatever. Lindell, peace, what's happening? She, peace, what's happening? Devin, peace, what's happening? Akuma, what you say? Jealousy is ugly and I wish it didn't exist. Nah, give me all of that. You know, I wish all of it exists. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, for real, like you got to have that negative in order for us to really embrace that positive and be grateful for the positive. So I'm grateful that things like jealousy and envy exist, because then when you got real love in your corner, it makes you more appreciative of it. If none of these things existed, like jealousy and envy, then we wouldn't really appreciate true love. We still don't appreciate it the way we should. But you know, just the fact that jealousy, envy, all of these type of things exist, like it should make you more appreciative of when real love is around you. You know, it's the yin and yang. So I'm grateful for all of that. I'm grateful for all the energies that exist, negative and positive. You know what I'm saying? I embrace it all. Hey, I'm thankful for the people around me that have expressed jealousy in my way. You know what I'm saying? That lets me know how not to be. You know, that lets me know how to raise some of the youths. That lets me know how to tell them what to look out for. You know what I'm saying? In certain people. So it's all good. A lesson. Tavon, man, amongst other things, you know what I'm saying? Amongst other things, the shots, along with the shots, the foods they give us, a lot of the things that they promote via the media, you know, it's designed to keep us in a stupor. You know what I'm saying? It's designed to keep us in a zombie-like state so that we don't buck up against the system. So all of these things contribute to that zombie-like state. You know, real life Walking Dead. All of these things contribute to it. You know, I got a book, man. I don't know if I got this book by me. Ooh, yeah, here we go. And I'm gonna break this book down, best believe. But this book right here, boom. EMFD 5G. It's a 5G Wi-Fi cell phones, hidden harms, and how to protect yourself. You know, so this book it dives into all of that. It breaks it down. The electromagnetic fields and whatnot, and it lets you know how they've been lying to us. You know what I'm saying? From just your phone being a little too close to you, to even just the AirPods that we listen to, how these things could be causing more harm than we know, how they done lied to us and made us seem like some of these things are harmless and they really not. You know, this book really taps into it. A lot of people refer to the stuff as pseudo, but man, listen, all you got to do is analyze the ways and actions of folks. All we got to do is analyze how we just can't stay away from these devices and whatnot. Like that's how we, and then all we got to do is analyze the health of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you could call something pseudo, but I'm just looking at the actual people and how it's affecting us. For real. Like, for real, it ain't even, I don't even need for them to conduct any studies because I'm always seeing it. You know, like, again, we talk, a lot of people like to make jokes about the crackheads and things like that and how they can't lay off the pipe. But again, hey, try to get somebody to stay off their phone for 24 hours. Bet you they can't do it. Tell somebody to stop eating some junk food, some processed food for 24 hours. Man, they gonna look at you like you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Tell somebody to stop eating that fast food for a week. They gonna look at you like you crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we like to talk about other folks' addictions, but a lot of people, they can't stop doing some of these things. They're addicted to these phones. They're addicted to this food. You know what I'm saying? They're addicted to the sodas. They're addicted to all that. They're addicted to the toxicity. You know what I'm saying? So again, people don't be understanding that. Even the water, even, you know what I'm saying? That like even the water that you shower with, the water that you bathe with can be, you know what I'm saying? Could be of low quality. Man, it's a lot of different things that can affect us. And we got to do the knowledge to these things. Man, I'm telling you, I'd have been tapped in. You know, you gotta, man, the pages in a book, you know what I'm saying? The fabric, like your clothing, the sheets, all of this type of stuff, man, can affect you in a negative manner, man. So we really got to be tapping into not only what we putting in our bodies, but what we putting on the body as well. You know, so we got to tap into all these type of things, man, because they lie to us in all different type of ways, man. Not even, and sometimes they just omitting it, like they not telling us how destructive some of these things are. You know, so we gotta stay studied up. We gotta stay researched up so we can know exactly how things are impacting us. Because I'm telling you, something that you think is harmless may definitely be harmful. Most definitely. Aaron, peace, what's happening? Oh, Devin, for sure. Mr. Sanders, peace, what's happening? Devin, for sure. What my man Stick say? Crack Donalds and Murder King. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for sure. Oh, we already know like that, man. Listen, like I said, you try to get somebody to eat. I do it all the time. I tell people to try to fast. I'm telling, man, listen, I tell somebody to refrain from food for 24 hours, and the way that they look at me, it's like I told them to stop eating for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tell somebody to go 5 days with just fruits and vegetables, and they act like you just said go 5 years. Like, seriously, that's how addicted we are. That's how addicted we are to the food. That's how addicted we are to these devices. You know what I'm saying? Like, muds have a hard time going on social media fast and things like that. They can't stay off of it. It's an addiction. It's an addiction. It's an addiction, man. So we got to be mindful of these things. You got to be conscious of what's going on. You got to be conscious, man, of what I like to call, what Elijah Muhammad said, the trick knowledge, man. We got to be mindful. We got to be conscious of what's happening. Consciousness is just awareness, yo. So we got to be aware of all the tricks that's being played on us. We got to be aware of all of the destruction that surrounds us. We got to be aware, man. Be conscious. Be conscious of everything that's impacting you negatively, positively. Because again, like they say, it's a war going on outside no man is safe from. And it's also a war going on inside. So we got an internal war that we got to conquer. That's the war within self. That's the first war that must get conquered. Then you got a war outside of self. And we know who's behind the war outside of self, but you first got to conquer that war within self. And that goes back into the subject matter of reality being what it is, and your truth is your interpretation of what is reality. You know, like they say, 100 people can see the same exact accident. But then when you ask people what happened, you might get 100 different versions of what happened. Everybody saw the same exact accident. 100 people saw the same accident, but you got 100 different descriptions of what happened. That's how life is, man. We can experience same thing, but we have a different interpretation of what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can have something that can activate negative energy within one person, has no effect on the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like everything don't hit everybody the same. So we got to understand these things, man. We got to understand that we are individuals. You know what I'm saying? What works for me may not necessarily work for you. What's harmful to you may be beneficial to me. What's beneficial to me may kill you. So we got to understand. We got to understand these things, man. We got to understand it. We got to understand these things for sure. Terenzo, my brother, peace. What's happening? Like we gotta understand that 100%, man. Again, what's harmful to me maybe you. It may be something that you need. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you need, maybe something I need to stay away from. You know what I mean? Like eat, and you can apply that to anything, whether it be what people call diets, things like that. It could be relationships. The person that I may need in my life may not be the best person for you. You know, so again, that's why I tell people all the time, man, just stop comparing yourself, stop comparing your life to other folks. You know, you looking at a situation saying you wish you had a such and such in your life. That may not be the type of person that you need. You know what I mean? So you may get with a such and such and may have thought that, oh, if I get with such and such, then everything will be better, man. But that's not the person that you need. That may be the person that you watching needs, but that's not going to be what you need in your life to complement you or complete you. You know, so we got to understand that, man. We got to understand that. That's why I've never compared myself with anybody. I don't compare my life with anybody. I don't look at anybody's relationship and say, man, I wish I had that, wish I had this. No, I don't do that. There is no universal person for everybody. We can't be doing that, man. We can't be looking at life like that. Cosmic Camera Creations. Peace. What's happening? Divine for sure. Devin, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like they say, man, your perception eventually it becomes your reality. And you got what's crazy is when I say something like your percept, this is how humans complicate things. When I tell somebody your perception becomes your reality, you will have people that will come argue with me up and down that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? And that's proving a point. If I say your perception is your reality and you arguing with me up and down that it's not true, that's your perception being your reality that it's not true. So that proves the point. You know what I'm saying, man? I done been in a situation. That's why sometimes it's pointless to go back and forth with somebody. Because at the end of the day, man, you're not about to change, for the most part, you're not about to change somebody's belief when y'all arguing about certain things. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's why you might as well not waste that time. You're not about to be changing somebody's belief overnight by going back and forth with them arguing. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you might as well leave that alone. But what do we sit and do? We sit and we argue. We go back and forth. Like, nah, I ain't even wasting time on that type of stuff anymore, man. You're not about to be changing folks' minds like that, man, going back and forth. It's a shame. It turns into a shouting match, you know, and it's doing a lot more harm than good. So I don't even waste time on that type of stuff anymore. But Devin, for sure, man, I tell people all the time, man, just make sure you got a positive worldview, man. That's it. You know, and extract a lesson from everything that you go through. What they say, take advantage of the disadvantage, things like that. You know, it's always two sides to every situation. You know, you got the negative and you got the positive side. You know, you can take the loss or the lesson. You know, it's always two sides. It ain't never just one side. It ain't just one dimensional. When you go through anything in life, man, I'm telling you, it's two sides, and it may be more than two, you know, but it's definitely not one. You know, and a lot of times, man, people be going through things and they look at it one dimensionally, and that's incorrect. It's always several different ways you can dissect this situation. So you got to look at that situation from several angles. You know, again, we got to stop doing that, man. Again, we be speaking ill on ourselves, man, and wonder why we keep attracting these type of situations to ourselves and in our lives. Because look how we view things, man. Something happened to you, man. You sitting around complaining, you moping, and you sad instead of taking advantage of this so-called disadvantage. instead of extracting the lesson from the loss. You so focused on the loss. You so focused on the disadvantage. You so focused on how bad the person did you. Man, congratulations. You found out somebody was trash before it was too late. Congratulations. Why are you still worried about how they mistreated you? You done found out that you found out they trash and that situation is over with. Don't go back. Learn your lesson. Congratulations. You don't need to sit around being sad about that. Hey, K Reno says, so I'll paraphrase it. You know what I'm saying? When you sad about somebody that was being trash, like being garbage to you, that's like being mad at the garbage man for coming to take out the trash. Like, what are you mad for? They came and got your trash, man. Why is that making you mad? Why are you upset about that, man? The garbage man came and got your trash. That's good. You know what I'm saying? That is a great thing. You know, but again, we be too focused on the L or the loss instead of extracting the lesson. You know, we be too focused on the negative instead of looking at the blessing of the situation. Stop doing that, man. They came and got your trash. All right, boom. Now we got a clean slate. Come on. But instead, we like to hold on to these things and then we make the next people suffer. Come on, man. We got to stop doing that. George, peace, what's happening? You say the world seems scarier than it is because what you hear about it has been selected by your own attention filter or by the media. For sure. I definitely say if the media then selected it, then it's definitely scarier than what it is. Now, your own attention filter, it depends on how you program. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the world is less scary to me, you know, ever since I got the knowledge of myself. You know, it's not much that I fear because they say fear stems from a lack of understanding. You know, fear stems from ignorance, not knowing. You know, but for sure, I could definitely see how the world seems scarier if, you know, everything has been selected by the media and then your attention filter if you haven't been programmed properly, for sure. But for sure, though. Yeah, definitely enjoy the process. Kenyatta would say be comfortable being uncomfortable, learn from everything, and nothing is a loss. Oh, exactly. Exactly. Man, look, 100%. I tell people all the time, you know, as a trainer, I tell people, they come in there, I'm like, man, you can't do the exercises that you enjoy doing. You're not going to ever grow. If you go into the gym and do everything that you like to do, you might as well kiss all these results and gains that you won't get by. You will never reach a gain and a result because you're going into the gym doing everything you're comfortable doing everything that you enjoy doing. That you will not receive any result doing that type of nonsense. For real. I go to the gym, I do things that I hate. Man, I don't like squatting 300, 400 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to pick 400 pounds off the ground in the form of a deadlift. I got to do it, though. Makes me uncomfortable. That's how I grow. It's not comfortable putting 350 pounds, 400 pounds on your back and squatting with it. It's nothing comfortable about that. I can easily lighten that load and put 135 on my back and do a bunch of reps. That's comfortable to me, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, I can't do that. I need to be uncomfortable. Moni, what you say, how can I turn this negative into a positive is the question. And that's good to start with the question. That's what you got to ask yourself. How can I turn this negative into a positive? The mind going to give you some answers. The mind going to give you some signs, some symbols. But of course, like I said, everything, it starts with that perception. Everything is mental. So whatever negative situation y'all can give me, I guarantee you I can find a positive and a lesson in it. Whatever the situation may be. I don't care if it's the death of a family member. I don't care if it's an illness that you're going through. Whatever the situation is, I guarantee you I can find a way to flip it and make it positive. We can extract a lesson from it. Whatever the case may be. We ain't even got to deal with positives and negatives. We can just deal with a lesson. You know what I'm saying? And you can interpret the lesson however you want to interpret it. But whatever situation we going through in life, man, I guarantee you, because I done been there, done that several times. Several times. What we say, you gotta focus on the best part. That's what we like to say. Keep the best part preserved for self. But we like to settle on the poor part. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the best parts preserved for self. We got to stop settling on the poor part. The poor part would be the negative part, the destructive part, the toxic part. That's the part where we like to settle on. We like to settle on the toxic part. Nah, keep the best part preserved for self. Just like when they enslaved our ancestors, they kept the best parts preserved for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they fed us the slops, but they kept the best part preserved for self. Even now today, that's what they do. When you go to grocery stores on the white side of town, they got the best fruits. They got the better quality foods. They keeping the best parts preserved for themselves. Then when you go in the black neighborhood, we got the worst quality food. So they still do these things. They keep the best parts preserved for self. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. When you go to the white side of town, they got better quality everything because they in control for the most part of the distribution of these products. So they say, why not? We in our community, we're gonna look out for our people first. So we're gonna give the best quality fruits to our people first, and then everybody else can get the leftovers. That's how they do it. They keep the best parts preserved for themselves and their people. That's how they operate. Like for real. Savon, for sure. You know, live your truth out, speak your truth, whatever the case may be, you know. And we got to get to that point where we don't even care about who rejects it, who accepts it. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Speak your truth, live your truth. Hey, if they don't like your truth, if they don't like you, again, congratulations. I love it when people show me true colors. I love it. Oh, okay, you don't like what I say, you don't like what I stand for. Cool. That makes it easier now. Now I really don't have to, I'm not going to deal with you at all. Thank you for making my job easier. Now I don't have to think twice about it. I'm just not going to fool with you. Simple. So I love it. I love it when I speak my truth because, like I said, it makes it easier. People remove themselves. When you start standing for certain things, man, people remove themselves from your life without you having to do anything, without you having to put in any work and have any difficult conversation. When you start standing for certain things, they out of here. Adios. They gone. You have become weird, strange, crazy, all of that. So they don't want anything to do with you. Like I said, congratulations. You know, embrace that. That's beautiful. Like, that's beautiful for me. When I start speaking my truth and people start removing themselves, man, I'm like, thank you. So now I ain't got to have no awkward conversation with you. MC, peace, peace. TRKR, peace. What's happening? George for sure. And Devin, yeah. And that's how I do it. What they say, pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? We weigh the pros and cons of everything that has happened. Because every situation has its pros, every situation has its cons. And that's just what it is. So we always weighing the pros and the cons, man. That's life. That's how we should dissect everything. But most people, like I said, we settle on that poor part. So we settle on the cons of the situation, the negatives. We settle on the negatives, man. Hey, again, it's something positive that you could take away from this particular situation, the circumstance, or whatever the case may be, man. You just got to decipher that joint. You just got to thoroughly analyze and examine it, you know. But we don't like to do that, man. We do not like to do that at all. We like to focus on the trauma and toxicity. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like the way that type of stuff makes me feel when I focus on the trauma and toxicity. That weakens your immune system. That kills brain cells. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does all of that, man. It just makes you unhealthy. I don't have time for that. I value health. So I don't want to focus on trauma and toxicity, man. I'm striving to focus on peace, prosperity, serenity, tranquility, things like that. That's where the focus is at. That's what I'm striving to activate internally. You know, like I said, what you focus on, it grows. So if I'm just focused on my trauma, then traumatizing situations and circumstances are going to grow. They are going to evolve from that seed that I keep planting, from the seed that I planted, and I keep nourishing that seed, that toxic and traumatic seed. And then I wonder why traumatizing experiences and circumstances and environments keep making their way to me. Because look at the seed that I plant, and I keep tending to this seed. No, I'm good. I want to attract, or I want to find myself in peaceful environment, circumstances, situations, around peaceful people, things like that. So again, that's the seed. You got to plant the seed of peace and prosperity if that's what you want out of life. If that's not what you want out of life, then cool. Plant whatever seed it is that you want. Hey, if you fool with toxicity, I don't know why you would, but if that's what you fool with, go ahead, plant that seed and tend to that. If that's what you like out of life, because I'm convinced some of these people like toxicity. Some of these folks like being toxic. I'm convinced. You know what I'm saying? Because again, some of the stuff that people be on and thinking about and gravitating towards, now I know the programming behind it, but it's like, come on, man. Some of these folks on the low love it. Love the drama. You know, I remember like Mars used to be watching what they call reality TV, which is actually scripted TV, and they was telling me straight up, I like to see the drama. I like to see other folks fight, go back and forth. I'm like, oh, okay. So that let me know what we be on the low. On the low for sure. But I'm good on it, man. I'm good on it. TRK. Hey, hold on. He asked you where a church is. How did that conversation end? But yeah, man, we gotta do a better job. Hold on, George, what you say? The risk something poses to you depends not on how scared it makes you feel, but on a combination of two things: how dangerous it is and how much you are exposed to it. If you're not exposed to it, then don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And but you know, of course, like I say, we gotta weigh all the factors in regards to whatever the situation and circumstance may be. It may not be something that we are exposed to, but it may somebody we may know, they may find themselves being exposed to it later down the line. You know what I'm saying? So we came across the thoughts or we came across it to warn them about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like maybe something like that. You may have come across something to be a messenger for somebody else. You know? Boom, crypto piece. What's happening? For sure, for sure. Man, we definitely making it happen. That's how you do it. That's how we do it. Hey, I got a thick book right here, man. The mind is the master. Thick book, man, like 1,200 pages. But that book can get you right though. Oh yeah, TRKR. For the most part, they don't be realizing they don't be realizing what they own and what the circumstance in general was on, and just how the environment was made awkward by what they were on. Oh, Devin, 100%, man. I'm trying to tell people, man, and it could get even deeper, man, because a lot of times people would think they have let go of some traumatic experiences, but they haven't, or they would think that they have moved past it, moved forward, all of that type of stuff, but they haven't. All they did was suppress it. You know what I'm saying? Suppression is not you moving forward. Suppression is more dangerous than anything. Suppression is what we call an unresolved conflict. You know, and that's what shrinks your thymus gland, your ability to fight off cancerous cells. So when you have all of these unresolved conflicts and they keep piling up on top of each other, then your ability to fight off cancerous cells is diminishing. You know, so now you're more susceptible to cancers, to all type of ailments and illnesses, all because of unresolved conflicts, all because you suppress that traumatic event instead of dealing with it. You know, and every time that it pops up, you suppress it. You keep suppressing it, you know, to the point where you have forgotten about it. And now you think that that means you have moved forward. No, you have not. Lindell, you say, what's your take on rituals like voodoo? Me personally, I don't believe a person can be hypnotized, but all Lindell. Now, now I get it. I get what you on, but definitely, I would say people can definitely be hypnotized. I actually know a certified hypnotist. Like I actually know one. Like on the real. Like I know somebody that actually does that. Like on the like straight real. You know, and when we dealing with zombie like people, You can definitely be hypnotized. I would go ahead and say that for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely something that's real in the field. I don't subscribe to much out here, but a person being hypnotized is is right and exact. It's actual facts. That can actually happen. You know what I'm saying? That can actually happen. But you say what's your take on rituals like voodoo and things like that? I actually got a few books on voodoo and things like that. Now, rituals again, we have to it's almost like when people talk about sacrifices. The ritual is a word like sacrifices. We have made ritual something more spooky than what it actually is. Same with a sacrifice. Now when people talk about sacrifices, we automatically associating it with something like Illuminati and things like that. But sacrifices have been around since we evolved. You know what I'm saying? Since we became the human form that we see today. We've all sacrifices have always been a part of the game. It wasn't necessarily anything spooky about them. This is something that has always been a part of us. Rituals are the same way. Brushing your teeth is part of a ritual. You know, when you take a bath every day, shower every day, that's part of a ritual. When you eat every day, it's a ritual. You know what I'm saying? Like a ritual is just it's a daily set of habits, something that you do every day. You know, and that's the way that I view a ritual. You know, now you can use your ritual, you can use a ritual to attract good. You can use a ritual to attract bad. This is what a bad habit is. You know what I'm saying? Bad habit. Now, when you get intentional about your rituals, then that's when you get the things like voodoo and stuff like that. For the most part, we are unintentional about our rituals. You know, so we do things on a day-to-day basis, but it's not intentional. It's just like we just program to do these things. You know what I'm saying? But when we can get like getting intentional about setting up an altar, things like that, that's when you get intentional about your rituals. I'm gonna light this sage. I'm gonna go meditate. I'm gonna say these affirmations. See, that's when you taking control of the ritual. You know, so that's the difference. You know, when you got a person that's taking control of the ritual and they use it to perform good or bad. Then you got the people they just let life hit them however life hits them, and then they form rituals based off how life hits them, and that can lead most of the time that leads to bad habits. Them just responding to life, being reactionary instead of proactive. So a proactive person, they are intentional about their rituals. Like my ritual, I'm gonna get up, you know, do some breathing exercises, do some affirmations, listen to some affirmations, listen to some certain frequencies, read a few pages in a book, brush my teeth, you know, drink a smoothie, drink some water, all that type of good stuff. I'm intentional because I want to attract positivity. I want to attract health. So I got to get intentional about that. So I got to have some positive rituals to go along with that, aka positive habits, you know. But again, we are ritualistic people. What they say habitual. They say we are habitual people. We could say ritualistic because it's all one and the same to me. You know, but that's how the mind likes to work. The mind doesn't want to think about what to do every day. So whatever you do repeatedly, the mind makes it automatic. So the mind is set up to deal in rituals. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be mindful of what you engage in on a day-to-day basis, because eventually your mind will make a ritual out of what you are doing on a consistent basis. Because that's how the mind like to work. The mind don't want to work too hard. The mind lazy. The mind like, look, if you didn't been doing this for 7 days, we just gonna assume this is something that you like to do. So now we're gonna make it automatic. That's why habits are hard to break. That's why habits are hard to reverse. Because the mind like, look, hey, you been eating these chips for the past 7 days. So we just think, all right, you must like these chips. So we're gonna make it automatic. So now you're gonna be waking up craving these chips. That's how the mind works. You know what I'm saying? So the mind works in rituals. So that's why you got to be mindful of what you do repeatedly, because your mind gonna eventually turn that into a ritual, something that you do every day, something that you're gonna feel like you must do every day. This is why some people feel like they gotta have coffee. This is why some people feel like they gotta have energy drinks and things like that. You know, first of all, it's the mind. Second of all, it's what they are putting, the chemicals that they are putting in the energy drinks and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to be mindful of the things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis. For real. Big Smooth, peace. What's happening? Wicked, peace, peace. My brother Antonio, peace. What's happening? Boom, crypto, peace, 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 my brother. Appreciate the donation. But yeah, Moni, exactly. And that's the thing. That's why, unfortunately, when you start studying, man, listen, unfortunately, that's why I say a lot of us, we came into we came into existence set up for failure. Because unfortunately, a lot of the habits that we end up possessing in life stems from our upbringing. That's why it's very important to raise your child in a healthy and positive environment, because they will pick up a lot of habits from that upbringing, from those years. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, a lot of parents, man, you can't get mad at the parent if they lack the knowledge. My parents wasn't nutritionists, they wasn't dietitians, they wasn't trainers, they didn't know anything about how to eat properly. They was following the food pyramid like most people parents. So it ain't necessarily that I'm upset with my parents, they just didn't know. I can't fault them for what they didn't know, because they were lied to, things like that. But unfortunately, now when you get to 2025 and you learn some things, you like, dag, man, the way we've been eating has been wrong. Now you got to strive to reverse that, and it's way more complicated. Opposed to a child that was born in a healthy environment, there's nothing for them to reverse. They was born eating healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for them to reverse. They already got the good habits. So that's why that upbringing is important, man. That's why I tell like parents and adults, man, like you got to be mindful of what you do, because these babies are watching, man. You got to stop being selfish. It ain't about you at that point. When the youth is paying attention to you, it's bigger than you, fam. It's bigger than you. They watching you. Contrary to what we say about the youth, they always seeking guidance from the OGs. They watching what you do. They watching how you move. And this is factoring into the habits that they form later in life. So we got to be mindful of that, man. You bitter, you mad because the situation didn't work out. Now you passing down that toxic energy to your child. Man, that's unfair, man, because that child didn't stand a chance, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like that child don't stand a chance. You passing down that toxic energy, those toxic habits to the child, man, they don't stand a chance. If 4 or 5 year old don't stand a chance, they got to eat all of that energy that you giving them. They got to eat all of those bad foods that you giving them, because they mad, because something didn't work out. Like they upset. Now they binging on all the garbage food and the toxic energy, and they feeding that to you because you around them. Now you got to suffer. Man, that's unfair. That's unfair. Wicked Smooth for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like that's very unfair, fam. We got to start being a lot more mindful of these children, man. When you understand that the children are watching, man, you got to change. You got to clean up how you acting, man. We wonder why these children, I'm trying to tell people, man, we wonder, as our ancestors said, as above, so below, as within, so without, whatever, whatever quote you want to use. When you look at the younger generation, that's a reflection of the people that raised them. That's a reflection of the generations before them. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you want to look at it, no matter how hard you try to separate them. For real, man, they watching how we moving, and they just emulating it, fam. They emulating it. For real. Oh, Moni, for sure. Y'all already know. That's more important than anything. Because let's be real. At the end of the day, how this is supposed to go, your child is supposed to outlive you. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to make sure you bringing them into a proper environment so that you can get them a proper tool, so that boom, when you gone, they still able to thrive, survive, and all that type of good stuff. And then they pass that on to their seeds. So when you looking at kids, man, again, this stuff is bigger than you. This stuff is you thinking about legacy. You thinking about something that's going to outlive you. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure, man, that environment is conducive to their mental health, to their physical health, so they can pass this thing down for generations, so that the bloodline can be strong and prosperous, fam. That's what it's all about. But again, we be selfish. We be selfish with that. Oh, I just want to make sure I got all my kids out the way before I turn 30. You ain't care nothing about the environment that they was born into. You ain't care anything about selecting the proper partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't care anything about making sure your health was right and exact. You ain't care anything about any of that. You just wanted to get them out the way. That's how you view this situation. Come on, man. Like, that's garbage. Like, that's garbage, fam. There's no way to view that. There's no way to view that at all. You know, and then people be all messed up when they make bad decisions in regards to who they had the child with, because you was in a rush, fam. Like, you was out here panicking. You was out here making those and I forgot the word I was finna utilize, man. But y'all know what I'm talking about, man. But you was out here panicking, stressing, wasn't thinking properly, wasn't thinking thoroughly. So we gotta stop playing out here, man. You gotta be conscious and mindful of all of this, man. Hey, Akuma, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, health is wealth. And like I tell people, man, that's where everything starts. You know, first it starts with a clean bill of mental health. You know, make sure the mentals are right and exact and intact and things like that, man. We got to tap into the mental, make sure that's good. Then when you clean up the mental, then the physical is going to start to become a reflection of that, you know. But man, you got to tend to that mental. Again, like I said, you got to stop suppressing that negative energy. Got to stop suppressing that bad energy. Got to stop suppressing that trauma. Got to start doing that, man. Because again, your physical going to reflect that, fam. You know, you're going to get those random headaches, you know, blisters, rashes, things like that, man. Like, it's going to manifest physically. You know, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, hypertension. You know, this is all a reflection of some internal things that you got going on, fam. So you got to stop suppressing all of that, man. Like, when you come across these ailments, like, that's your body speaking to you, man. Deal with that trauma, man. Deal with that internal trauma. That's why this cancer is manifesting itself, fam. You know, deal with that trauma, man. Deal with your perception. Deal with your worldview. Things like that. CEO, whoa, bro. You say you got hit by a car, man. You ain't suffered no major injuries or damage, did you? We gonna send all the positive energy in your direction, my brother. For real. You say you got hit by a car, man. We ain't going for that. Hopefully everything is all good, man. You ain't suffered no serious injury or injuries or damage, man. But that ain't nothing light. It's people get hit by cars, don't walk away from that situation alive, fam. So hey, all the positive energy sending in your direction, man. For real. Lindell, for sure. I was training a young brother that was like 15 and was about to graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? I was training a young brother. Little homie was about 15, about to graduate. So most definitely. That's why I say, man, they tapped in, they be watching, they paying attention. That's why I say we got to make sure we on our P's and Q's. We got to make sure we constantly dotting all our I's, crossing all our T's, because they paying attention. They paying attention, fam. So when you act right and you do right, they paying attention to that. Little homie just ain't no genius because he wasn't paying, like, the parents around him, you know, the ones that he's watching, they move a certain type of way. So he was mimicking what he saw growing up. So that's how he turned out to be that. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, we have exceptions to the rule. People that they didn't have the best upbringing and they rise above and beyond that, and they still turn out to be right and exact. You know what I'm saying? So of course we got exceptions to the rule. But why make it that hard in the first place? Why do we want a child to have to grow up and be triumphant over toxic circumstances instead of just providing them with good circumstances to begin with? You know, so why make it harder when it don't need to be? Damn, like, we don't need to make it that much more complicated for these kids, man. Make it easier for them, man. Like, not more complicated. Come on. But CEO say no structural damage, man. There we go. Hey, like I say, take the lesson. You know what I'm saying? You was hit by that car, no structural damage. Hey, that just means it's time for you to get on your mission, CEO. That was an unfortunate reminder that, hey, at any given moment, fam, whatever you striving for can be taken away from you. So CEO, whatever, like I'm gonna interpret this dream for you. I'm gonna interpret this for you, CEO. Whatever it was that you've been thinking about doing, because I know you've been thinking about doing something. It's time for you to do it. That was the unfortunate reminder, fam. That take me back to when I had my car accident, fam. Way back when. It was self-inflicted. Fell asleep behind the wheel, flipped 5 times, crawl right up under that, like I landed, boom, upside down, crawl right under that joint. No type of injury at all. Only glass was in me. Crazy, you know. And I looked at that like, okay, I made it. I done seen lighter accidents where everybody in the accident died. That joint was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Fell asleep, you flip 5 times, you just crawl from underneath that like ain't nothing happened. I say, yeah, it's time for me to get on my purpose. I became certified personal trainer. Like I started doing all the things I knew I needed to do. So I said at any given moment, this could be it. That was my wake-up call right there, literally. Like that was it. Like, oh man, like that could have been the last ride. So I'm like, nah, it's a bunch of things I ain't to did in life. So I started doing them right after that. I was like, man, let me put everything into motion. Let me put everything into motion. Forget that. Again, reality is what it is. Your truth is your perception of it. The reality of my situation, the CEO, like, I had the accident. Boom, I fell asleep. That was the reality of it. I could have left it at that. But my truth was my interpretation of what happened. Man, I fell asleep, just being ignorant, being dumb. And then I crawled up underneath. I crawled up out of the car, unscathed, not hurt, not injured, because I still got a purpose to fulfill. That was my truth. That was my interpretation of what happened. So the reality was the car wreck, and me falling asleep caused it. But my truth is the deeper meaning. So my interpretation of what happened and why it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, bet, man. Let me get on my purpose. Let me get on my mission. And then we ain't even going to after that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was still playing. So I got other warnings, fam. Life give me some severe warnings. So even after that happened, I was still procrastinating a little bit. So then I was working in banking, got robbed twice at the banks. So I had an accident that could have been the end. Boom, flip 5 times, still BSing a little bit. I put some things into motion, but still BSing. Then I get robbed 2 times at the bank I'm working at. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I see what's happening. Let me go ahead and put some things into motion. I'm out here and got robbed twice at the bank, and each time I was there. I was the only one that was there both times. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, man. Hey, all right, let me listen. I'm loud and clear. Loud and clear. Let me stop playing. I said, let me stop playing. George for sure. Man, I ain't even, you know, and again, I ain't even gonna even lie to you. I ain't hit no other car. It's crazy. I had saw 18-wheeler, and I swear to you, I thought that was it. I knew that 18-wheeler. Like the last thing I remember seeing was an 18-wheeler coming towards me as I was flipping. And I was like, you know, in my mind, like literally, this how I know all the Buddhism and stuff that I was studying. This how I know, like, I don't have no fear of something happening to me like that. Because in that moment, like I wasn't even panicking. I literally in my mind told myself, I said, man, that's 18-wheeler finna take me out. And I held on to the wheel. I was finna brace myself for it. I was like, this it. Because I saw this 18-wheeler. I don't know how the 18-wheeler missed. I don't know what happened, but I saw the 18-wheeler as I'm flipping. I saw an 18-wheeler, boom. So I'm like, yeah, this it. That literally, that's how I was on. That's how I was on it. You know, it wasn't no screaming, wasn't no going crazy. I just held on to the steering wheel, like, yep, I see 18-wheeler. So I was like, I didn't took myself out the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I was at with it. And that was right around time I had got heavy in the study of Buddhism and learning about detachment, things like that, man. So I was like, I wasn't even panicking. When I crawled out from under the car, you know what I'm saying? And the people that stopped was talking to me. They was more traumatized than I was. Like they was like, oh my God, they the ones told me I flipped that many times. And I was just asking them for a phone, and they was like, man, are you okay? Are you traumatized? I was like, no, I'm good. Let me get a phone. And they just couldn't believe that I was asking for a phone. They thought I was they thought I was supposed to be panicking, crying, all type of stuff. I was like, no, I was like, y'all just got a phone. My phone broke, obviously. I had my phone on me. I had my phone in my pocket. I looked at I said the phone on the ground, say my phone ain't no good. I'm like, y'all got a phone. I need to call this place of employment, let them know I ain't gonna be here. This is exactly how I was talking to him after this accident where I fell asleep. I'm talking to him just like I'm talking to y'all. Wasn't panicking, wasn't stressed out, wasn't tripping, wasn't spazzing, nothing. Literally, I was talking to him just like I'm talking to y'all. And they was looking at me like, oh my gosh. Like straight up. You know, I realized I was like, let me go ahead and get on that purpose though. Hey, Boom Crypto, let's get it. Opening a mattress store in Detroit, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what we like to see those type of stories, man. For sure. Let's get it. Let's get it. That's what I'm talking about. Man, Jordan, I feel like I done got several chances. Because like I said, that now the second time I got robbed, bro had and it's crazy now that I'm looking at all these mass shootings, things like that. Cause bro came into the bank with an AK-47. He didn't have a little handgun. Bro had the AK, and he had to have about 30 rounds in that joint. That was a long extendo. Extendo. You know what I'm saying? Clip was an extendo. So he was, at any given moment, that could have went left, fam. That could have went left. Like, I'm glad Buddy didn't ask to go to the vault, because I was the one in charge of the vault. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he just took what was in them drawers and dipped. I'm like, man, this dude asked to go to this vault, and this gonna take some time, and I'm the one with the vault. This ain't finna go well. So it just so happened that bro wasn't concerned with the vault, which you robbing the bank. I feel like that's stupid, but whatever it is, I'm glad you out of there. You know what I'm saying? But like that time, that could have got nasty, especially considering what's going on now. People have been shot for way less. People have been shot for no reason at all. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude coming in here robbing the bank. He could have easily went crazy. He let us know though. He was like, look, if y'all press this panic button, I'm shooting everybody in here. If I don't make it out alive, nobody make it out alive. So I was like, oh, okay, bet. We not pressing this button. You know what I'm saying? So I'd have been in a few situations where it's like, dang, all right, I made it out of that. George is crazy. I never, and I'm speaking on it. I'm like the traditional man that might hold on to all my feelings and emotions, whatever the case may be. But I never felt any type of way about that accident. Of course, that accident could have affected me in ways that I wasn't conscious of. That may be the reason why I don't necessarily like driving them like in traffic and things like that. I don't know where that started from. Could have started after that. I don't know. But the adrenaline never really hit me. Man, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't want to go to work that day. I ain't want to go to that job. So I was like, God damn, I was happy not to go to work for real. I ain't even gonna lie. I know I got a sick view towards things, but man, I was like, man, I ain't gotta go to work. I'm finna go to sleep. Because I obviously was tired. I fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I'm good. Straight up. Hey, I had to make the light out of the situation for real. Like I could have been out the game, but I wasn't. So I was like, man, I'm finna have to. It wasn't meant for me to go to this job. I couldn't stand the job anyway, man. They was on some racist stuff at that job, man. I ain't fool with them anyway. Even when I told them I had to wreck, like their response was just trash, man. I was like, man, it was a summer job at the time. I was still in college, man. So I was like, man, y'all, that's dead. Yeah, like these corporations don't care anything about you, man. I told him I had to wreck. I don't even remember what he said, but it wasn't no sympathy, man. I could have hauled off, hit dude in his face right there. But I only had maybe like a week or so left at the job. So I was like, man, I'm finna go ahead and leave, man. Like, forget all. I think I left early. I left that job early. Devin, let's get it. Hey, if you need some tips for that, let me know. I've been doing this for a minute. Hey, Dread Mike, you know what I'm saying? We all thankful to be alive. You know what I'm saying? After these accidents, for sure. We thankful to have you around, for sure. Shout out to everybody that been through something traumatic, man, and they living to tell the story, man. Like I said, man, I done been through my fair share of things. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't one of those ones. You know what I mean? Like people be like, I ain't got no regrets. But I got plenty of regrets. You know, I got plenty of things I did, and I can't even solve it with another person because they not here anymore. You know, I got plenty of things that I said to folk, and my last conversation with them was negative. I know I ain't the only one that been somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying? For real, like I done had a few times in life, man, where I didn't tempered and got the best of me. As y'all know, I deal with the temper problems. Tempered and got the best of me. Next thing you know, a person and died on me, and I wasn't able to clear that situation up. I got a few things like that I unfortunately I gotta take to the grave. So I had to, you know what I mean? Like I had to solve them issues internally. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to tap into the space that I was in at the time where I said what I said. You know, I had to forgive myself, man. You know, so those man, that's why you gotta be mindful of the conversations that you have with folks, because you never know when it'll be your last conversation. I done been there, done that. And talked to some folks crazy, man. They didn't say something I ain't like, pissed me off, got mad, responded accordingly. Next thing you know, person died. And it's like, wait a minute. Last time I remember talking to him, it wasn't the best of conversations. Hey, that's a messed up situation to be in, especially if they real close to you. So that's not a good way. That's not a good way to live, man. I didn't been there. I didn't been there, done that. Like I got a few people where I had to, you know what I'm saying, resolve that internally and forgive myself for like, man, you wasn't in the right space. You wasn't in the right frame of mind. You know what I mean? Like I had to forgive myself for that. You know, for real. Or you was young, man. You ain't know any better. Like you ain't know that was gonna be a person's last. You know what I'm saying? Or you ain't know that was gonna be your last time seeing a person, man. You ain't really mean no harm, man. You was just angry or emotions got the best of you, stuff like that. You know, so people don't know. Like I said, everybody look at me on the surface and think, man, you dude ain't been through. Nah, man, I didn't been through some things. You know, and people just look at your circumstances. Oh, you got both parents or something, whatever they try to judge you by and think you ain't been through nothing. I'm like, nah. Trust me, your boy done been through some things, man. I may not wear it, you know what I mean? But like, nah, it's some stuff that I done been through that I didn't suppress, man. I didn't deal with all that type of stuff, man. That be coming back to the surface, man, and it be affecting me in all type of different ways that I just had to forgive myself. I had to resolve. Nobody got time to be carrying those burdens and that toxic energy around, man. That weight get a little heavy, man. That weight get a little heavy, man. You find yourself just stressing out. You find yourself just health declining. You ain't able to understand why, man. It's you carrying these burdens, man. You carrying around this trauma, fam. You carrying around these regrets that you won't let go, fam. That you will not deal with, face all that. Oh yeah, Jordan. I'm trying to tell you, man. So you flip 5 times. All right, so you really got to miss work. Like, man, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, man, listen, I had a situation at one of the jobs I worked at, and my sister was involved in a car accident, crazy accident too. Boom. Somebody ran smack into him. And I told manager at the time, I was like, look, you know, my sister was involved in a car accident. I don't know her status. I'm gonna go check in on it. And she was like, so you not coming to work, or when will you be able to come in to work? I was like, fam, I was like, look, I'm not really asking you, can I go see my sister? I'm not concerned with work today. I'm not gonna be there, fam. I'm like, what are you, you know what I mean? Like that. I went off on her, man. I went off. I'm like, man, I'm not asking you, can I go see my sister when she was in a car wreck overnight and I'd have missed the phone calls and I don't know no status? I'm like, fam, I don't care nothing about this bank. What are you talking about? When can I come in? Do I gotta miss the whole day? Do you gotta miss the whole day of work? I said, well, I don't know. But since you asked me, yes, I do. And yeah, that jobs be having me messed up. Hence why I don't work on the job now. Man, because I ain't got time. Man, I ain't got time. If I'm telling you, listen, I'm not asking you, can I go see my sister if she was in a car accident? I'm telling you, I'm going to see my sister. I'm not asking a question. That's not a question. Like some of these jobs think you asking them for permission. No, sister was in a car accident. I'm finna tap in. I don't care anything about this job today. Kuma for sure, man. That forgiveness is big and real. Devin, you say when just starting to attract clientele, what are some things you would suggest? Find your niche. When you get into the training space, this is for business in general. We first, like initially when we start a business, we accept all clients. You know, we be trying to take on everybody. Don't do that. You know, in a personal training space, find out who you want to work with. Find out the type of client that you want to work with, whether it's building strength, whether it's to help people lose weight, whether it's to help people gain muscle, whatever it is. Find a niche and focus on that. Do not just train everybody. Don't take on a person that want to lose weight, that want to gain muscle, that want to get stronger. Don't do that. No, find you a specific type of person, a specific type of client, a specific type of trainer or style of training. Master that, and that's what you deal with. That's gonna take you a long way in that space. For real. For real. Ronaldo, you say, is there a way to completely forget something that's bothering you from the past? Nah, no. And you don't even need to forget it. You know, forget, like I said, forgetting it can be equivalent to suppressing it. Because at the end of the day, you don't forget that. You know, a traumatic event, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something that's going to stick with you. Like the car accident that happened to me. I can't forget that even if I try. It happened to me. But it's the way that I perceived what happened and why it happened. You know, that's the part that's important. I ain't going to never forget the things that happened. Like, nah, me having bad words with somebody, then they ended up dying. Like, I can't forget that. I can try hard to forget that. I never will be able to forget that. But it's the way I perceive it. You know, it's me forgiving myself. That's the most important thing. So you don't even forgetting it won't necessarily even make it better. You know what I mean? Like just being able to perceive it in a different light and find a lesson in it. That's the most important thing. But nah, you ain't gonna forget anything that's bothering you from the past at all. Like I don't feel you. Nah. From my experience, no. Like I said, it's just your perception, how you view what happened. On this, you couldn't go see a family member in need. Yeah, man, listen, y'all about to give me, boy. What I remember my granny passed, and that manager tried to act like, man, I was ready to, you know what I'm saying? Like I was on air, I was like, man, let me leave this job before I end up causing a problem. Like for real, man. Like y'all got these guys gotta stop playing with people. For real, I don't justify no shooting, but you know what I'm saying? When people go shoot up these jobs, man, these people be tripping in these jobs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they be tripping, man. Y'all gotta stop playing with people, man. When some traumatic stuff is going on, man, you better let that person go be with their fam, man. You do not want to be playing with a person that's going through something like that. You know, you tell them what they can and can't do. All right, they come back on you now, like that. Come on, man. Let them go handle that business, man. Like for real. I've been there, done that, man. Them two situations. I told her my sister was in a wreck, you know, and my granny, and this all happening around the same time. I'm trying to tell you, man. I life didn't hit me hard several times, and it happens, boy. When life hits you hard, it hits you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going from my sister being in a wreck, a crazy wreck, to then my granny passed. I'm like, damn, I can't catch no break. And I'm at the same job, and this happening like a week after each other, you know what I'm saying? Or 2 weeks after each other. Like, I'm like, all right, hold up. Like, what's going on here, man? But for real, man, we still standing strong though. We still standing strong, man. Like I said, man, we perceive things differently. Well, hey, when my granny passed, I was able to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. Everybody was like, cause everybody sad. I'm like, nah, I was able to process that in a different manner. I ain't looking at it like, damn, she passed. I'm sad. Nah, I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna do that at all. I ain't finna walk around sad. I ain't finna walk around none of that. Cause that's not gonna help me in life. That's not good. You know, that ain't gonna help me prosper in life. She don't want me sit. she wouldn't want me doing that. You know what I mean? Like she lived her life the way she wanted to live it. You know, unfortunately, that led to some conditions. Fam, like that's just how I gotta process it. So now I gotta learn from that. You know what I mean? Like I gotta learn from that. Like, all right, man, she made some decisions, and I'm cut from this same family tree. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my grandmother, so she made certain decisions. You know, or if she dealt with emotions a certain type of way, this is what we susceptible to. You know what I mean? Like I gotta make sure I got to process things differently. I got to live a little bit differently. You know, so hey, that's how I had to view that situation, man. I ain't finna be doing all that crying and you know, like stuff like that. That's how I'm processing it. So I was always good, man. Muggs and seeing me lose family members, Muggs have been around for that. I ain't never been cried or nothing like that. You know, I didn't. I did be done. I go back to work. You know what I'm saying? Like I go back to training folks. I go back to moving, going back to being efficient, man. It's just it is what it is, man. We got to keep going. We got to keep prospering. Be swift and changeable. I can't control how other people live, so I can't control what happens to them. I don't care how much positive energy I direct in a person's direction. Like if they not choosing to do something right and exact, then hey, that comes with consequences. You know what I mean? And even if it's like a tragic situation that was unexpected, it's always pretty much unexpected. But some of the stuff, let's be real, some of the stuff is not unexpected. You could see it coming. Like let's be real. Like you can analyze some of your folks' lifestyles, and when they get diagnosed with something and it takes them out, you saw it coming. Like let's be real, I had a few situations like that. I saw it coming, so I definitely wasn't sad when it happened. That may sound harsh, but like nah, for real, I'm not about to be consumed in that when I see a person is making certain decisions. Like all right, you choosing what type of bed you want to lay in. I'm good on that. I ain't finna invest no emotions into that because you choosing that. Even though we got people around here telling you how much we care about you, how much we need you to be here, so we need you to make better decisions, and you choosing to still make the same decisions. Okay, thank you. I'm going to remove my emotions from this situation, from this person, because they don't care about what we saying. Obviously, they don't care about how we feel. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I gotta make some moves, get myself ready to head back to this gym, finish off my clients for the evening. Y'all know what it is, man. So I appreciate y'all, appreciate donations, all the comments, all the love, all the good stuff. May not tap in with y'all tomorrow. Hey, who knows, man? I'm spontaneous, you know. So be on the lookout, man. I forgot to do my uploads this weekend, man. Got lost track of time, got a little busy. But whatever, man. Just be on the lookout, man. Always stay tuned to my channel because y'all never know what I'm gonna post when I'm gonna post it. But that's how I like to move. That's me, staying real, staying true to myself. But man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Monday. Y'all be easy out here. I'm out. Peace.